This is Krista from Simply Breathe Now, and I'm here today with another video. This is the August insert video, so I'm just going to walk you through what my August insert has this month. First, I'd like to show you my new cover. I am now offering these pleather or leather covers on Etsy. You can find them there in a variety of colors and a little bit of thicknesses. So this is one of the thicker ones, this taupey one. They all have the same format where they have a little closure and a little bit of an overlap. So we'll get right inside them. So in this insert, I have my perpetual calendar, which is just a blank calendar where you can add whatever you want. You can also find that on Etsy. Then I have my collections calendar, and right after that is my July insert, and the last one in here is my August insert. And I'm just going to flip out my Simply Breathe Now card so that you can see that, so when we get to that point. So this is the cover for August, and then we get right into the title page. Again, I've left the title page empty so that you can add anything that you would absolutely love to make August yours. And then your surprise page this month is called Summer Memories, and I have been doing this now. This will be my third summer that I've done it, where I write all the memories that I've made over the summer, and then I color this in like a sun rays, and this is how it ends up looking when I'm done. So I have put this on Etsy as well as an instant downloadable, so if you just want to have this page, you may have it off of Etsy. And then after the memories page, the summer's memory page, we go into just different memories of August and your currently. This spread is in every single insert. Then we have our goals page where you write your goal or your plan or your project that you're working on, and you break it down into different steps, finding that when you break it down each week into smaller steps, it's more, you are able to accomplish things, and therefore you're getting closer to your goals and your plans. And then there's lots of room left for doodles and quotes or notes that you might have. And then August always has, and then each insert has a calendar, and this is August's calendar. And again, very straightforward and simple, a typical calendar format. And from there you can add your notes on over here on the side. Then we have the habit tracker. I have a whole video on how to fill in the habit tracker from a Zentangle perspective. So if you're interested in that, I will link that below. The way the habit tracker works is that you add the days of the week here at the top, then you add what you would like to track, and I've given you lots and lots of room. You can break it up if you like into different categories, or you can just put what comes out of your head that you want to track. And then at the bottom here is a sleep tracker. I'm a very big believer that with sleep that you are able to accomplish things, and that we are better, more rested and productive individuals with our sleep. So trying to aim for a certain amount of sleep and then being able to track it and being knowledgeable about what you are getting and seeing if it's balancing out over the month. So that's the habit tracker. Then we have our gratitude log, and the way this works is you just add 2 points, or you can add as many as you like if you want to keep running, for the day of all the gratitude that you have for each day. There's tons of research to show that if you are looking for things to be thankful for, you'll see more and more things to be thankful for. So this is a good place to start. And then your mood tracker this month is a mandala. So I do have a whole video on how to draw a mandala, and if you bought, I have to think of what insert it was. It was probably, I think, March or April. I actually had a surprise page on how to draw a mandala. So I will link the video below so you can see how to do this. The way it works is that, like all mood trackers, you pick a color that you would like your mood to be, and then from there, you add each of these rings is a day, and you add a color. So here's an example from January that I haven't actually drawn the mandala part yet. I have only just done the colors. So you can see, compared to, this is my colors of my moods, and then every day I just did one of the circles. From there, then you can draw the mandala. So here is the mandala and the mood tracker that I'm actually doing currently this month. If I can get in here without wobbling the camera too much. So I'm in the middle of, I've started the mandala and I'm still doing my color. So this one I'm trying to draw as I go, and I'm definitely ready to now start the next part of the mandala from here because I have enough colors drawn. You can do it either way, whatever works for you. You can do that, you color it out and then come back and draw. It usually takes me about an hour to an hour and a half, depends on how intricate the mandala is, to actually draw it. And sometimes I really like to do that. I like to go away, just kind of be by myself and draw for an hour, and it's a real self-care moment. Or sometimes I'm actually kind of enjoying watching it progress as the month goes. So there's two different ways to do it. I'm going to show you a few more examples. The way I started drawing mandalas, if you've never drawn a mandala before, is go on Pinterest and just pin a whole bunch of different mandalas, and then take little bits and pieces out of each mandala that you like. So this one, say you like this center part and maybe this end part. So you would maybe start and draw those parts, and then you might flip to another mandala and say, oh, I love how this part is right here. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this part at the beginning, and then right after I'm gonna do this little part and add that next. And then you go to another mandala. Do I have another one in here? I do. Another mandala here, and oh, I like how these leaves are, so I'm gonna do that next. So that's what I would suggest. If you've never ever drawn a mandala, go and do tons of pinning of different ones, and then start and pick pieces out that you love and then add them. The biggest thing with a mandala is once you start a pattern, just keep continuing the pattern around. So there's some examples of different mandalas for you. So on this spread, I've drawn the circles and I've drawn the lines to kind of where your pattern would go. So again, if you've never drawn a mandala, check out my video, and then also go and pin a whole bunch of mandalas, and that way you'll have an idea of where to get started. After your mood mandala, you have your financial report, which is in every journal as always, trying to get an idea that your cash flow is going up and your net worth is going up, and that you're having just an awareness of what your money is like. Then you have a blank spread. And then again, July was the first month that we added this weekly, monthly hybrid. So the way this works is I've left you some space here and some space here where you can add which week it is. And if you have any other things, I use this part as errands, and I use this kind of as the focus for the week. You could even use it as an intention for the week if you wanted to. Then you add your date, and if you would like your weather up at the top here. And then, like all bullet journaling, it goes back to the key. So at the very beginning of my week on the Sunday night, I will go and I will write from my calendar. I'll go back to my calendar and I'll see what's happening this week, all the events, and I will write my events in first. And events are written with a dot. Then if I know my tasks if I have any special tasks for any certain day, I'll write those in. I always know Saturday is laundry day, and I always know that I'm going to plan and do the grocery list on Sunday. So those would be two tasks I would add for sure. So the task is always written with a dot. Then as you go through your week, you add more tasks and or events if they come to each of your days as you're going. And at the end of the day, you would go through all the things that you've listed, and you will add the different markers from the key that tell you what you've done. So if you completed the task or the event, you put an X through it. If you haven't been able to accomplish it, but you know that you want to still accomplish it, you can migrate it forward. So some people prefer to have all their information of what they need to do on the same day. So if you didn't complete something on Monday, you would migrate it with an arrow to the right, so like this, and you would add it to Tuesday. Some people see this as one big spread and they don't really need to migrate it until they need to go to their next week if they haven't completed. So if there's something open here, they would still look at Tuesday and they would look back and see what was open. They don't need to migrate it. I personally do a mix of both. Some days I feel like there's so much going on that I need everything in the one day. And other days I'm like, well, there's not a lot going on, so I and I'll have time to kind of come back and look back and forth. So it really depends on what your life is like, and sometimes it depends on what your day is like, on how you're going to do it. Again, you go back to your Monday and you're looking at everything you've done, and there might be another task that is open, and you realize migrating it forward, it's not going to get done this week or the next couple of days, so you're going to reschedule it. So if that is the case, you're probably going to reschedule it either onto your to-do list, which falls after the weekly, but if you were using an insert from before, it would be in your insert from your to-do list, where you put all your things to do, and you would rewrite what was here. So say it was example that you were gonna drop books off at the library, and there's absolutely no way that that's gonna happen. You would put an arrow to the left, and you would put it back on your to-do list, drop books off of the library, so that you know when you're doing your next week that that is something that you still want to do and it's important to you, but you know that that's not going to happen in the current week. And then if something becomes irrelevant and you're not going to do it at all, and you're like, well, I don't know why I wrote that down, you would just put a line straight through it. And if you want to make a note at the end of the day, you would do that by just doing a dash like that. So I hope that was clear. So that's how you would run your weekly and your daily hybrid. I've left some room for a menu if you like to keep track of what you're eating. And then I've kind of already shown this spread. So this is your to-do list of what you would like to do in the complete week. Again, every week at the end of the week, you would migrate, you would go through your key list, and you would migrate or reschedule or complete each item before you go to your second week. So this is week 1 of August. Once you've completed week 1, you would go through and see everything that you've done, and then whatever was not completed and you wanted migrated, you would add it to the week after. There's a waiting on list, which is usually for people who are waiting for deliveries, or they're waiting for phone calls back, or they're waiting for some information from somebody. That's where you would add that. On the horizon is things that you're looking at in the future. Right now on my list is I have swimming lessons, because I know that's going to happen in September, and I don't want to forget that I kind of need to be aware that if I don't get an email in August, I need to be on that, because we will miss the registration if we're not on that. So I have on the horizon, I have swimming lessons in September. Then a weekly review is always, I think this is one of the greatest parts about bullet journaling, is the reflection. So Ryder Carroll has built the reflection also into his key, which this key is from the original bullet journal system by Ryder Carroll, which I will link below as well. So I also add this extra bit of the review, which is inspired by Boho Barry Carabens, the what is working, what isn't working, what needs to change, which I also think she's from, oh, that lady's name's gone right out of my head. I will, if it comes to me, I will tell you, otherwise I'll link her as well, which I think is who inspired it from Kara. So having a weekly review makes sure that you are doing the things you want to do, and your life is shaping the way you want it to shape. So you have 5 weeks in here of those. And then at the end, you have 1, 2, 3 blank pages to add any spreads that you want. So you can use these pages to be brain dumps or different things that you've seen that you want to try out. Or I have lots of instant print downloadables that you can print right at your home. So you can do that from Etsy if you see any that you like. And then the last is a monthly review. And this is a place where I feel every month you kind of celebrate your month, but also reflect on what you've been doing. So the places to celebrate your accomplishments, your big events, what you were proud of, how are you different. And then there's places for projects and goals. So places to kind of reflect on what I've actually completed and what I'm still working on and what I really need to work on next month, but also goals, and because goals and projects can be the same, but they also can be different depending on what you're working on. And then sometimes things I want to remember. This is usually different than my memories page. It's usually a quote or something that kind of resonated with me so strongly that I'm kind of like, I need to kind of keep that. And so that's where I would put that information. And then there's the reflection part, the challenge, what's challenging, and your personal struggles. And how am I different is also kind of in the reflection part. So what do you not want to, being aware of what's happening can also help you make it so that it doesn't happen next month if possible. So those are things for reflection. And then you have a last page, which you can again use for anything. That might be what you want to write down for what you can want to put in your next insert, or any ideas that you have. And then on the back, there's just the end of the little paisley mandala. And then I've just taken some washi tape and I have stuck my little my key, my Simply Breathe Now key, in there so that it folds back when I don't need it, but if I want it, I can just flip it out. And then that is this month's video. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope that you're finding everything all right. Please feel free to offer any comments below. If you are using the inserts, I would love to know how they're going, if there's something that you would like to see in them or something that you would like to see that you're not getting enough space for. Please give me any feedback if you are purchasing the inserts, or even the instant downloadables that you've been using. I would love to hear how those are going. And I think that's it. So I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.